Jai Gurudev, Jai Masters. One's perspective of life, of their life, is really the whole spiritual path. Once I was teaching way back in the early 70s at college, and I gave a talk about the universe, about the galaxies, about the expansiveness of everything. And it was a class where people were going back, older people coming back to get a degree or continue education. And a gentleman came up to me and said, "It's very interesting, but I don't understand what meaning it has, purpose it has to my life to think about those things." And I don't think that person stands alone. I think that a lot of us need to learn about truth, about reality, and what effect it has on your life. So, for example, some people will go all the way down, are completely focused on themselves. They just care about how they feel. They care about getting what they want. That's all they think about. Maybe they're involved in urges and needs of the body, with food and sex and this and that. And that's, I hope you don't meet people like that, but they're out there, right? They're just very carnal. They're just very fixated that their universe is about not just themselves, but their body, the bodily needs and wants and desires. They're just a step above the evolution of an animal, the lower animals, which is fine. Your body is an animal. Your body is an animal. It has all the animal instincts. It has all the animal capabilities. It's a very evolved animal. And consciousness can become fixated on those needs, on those urges, on those drives, on that stuff. Those are lower chakras, first and second chakra. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a reality that your consciousness can become fixated on that, and then that becomes your whole life. That's all you're about. That's all you're doing. That's all you think about. That's all you care about. There it is. So that's a very, very narrow perspective of life. Most of us, hopefully, have literally evolved beyond that. Doesn't mean we're highly evolved, but we've evolved into what people think about us. We've evolved into wanting to be liked. We've evolved into wanting meaningful relationships that are above the animal, carnal level. All right? And you're dealing with third chakra. What is third chakra? I don't ever talk about the chakras. What is third chakra? It is basically, I'm in here. I know I'm in here. And there's people out there. There's other people. It's not just first and second chakra are about me. They're about survival. They're about procreation. They're about carnal lowest level of I am an animal. I am my body. All right? When you evolve beyond that, you look outside and you see there's other people out there. The chakra is called the social chakra. You have interaction with other people. What's your relationship with the fact that there are other people out there? Well, I want them to like me. I want to have them get me what I want. I'm interacting with other people. I have relationships beyond just the family, closest family core. I have friendships and all kinds of relationships going on out there. And I've expanded my consciousness to include you guys. Which guys? The people that are within my frame of reference. To start with, I don't know anything about China and Afghanistan and Timbuktu, all right? I only know about interacting with the people I'm interacting with my social structure, my community, so on, okay? And you just are working your way to where your frame of reference is expanding. Since we're dealing with the chakras, when you get to the heart chakra, it still can be about a person. As Master used to say, perfect your relationship, your love relationship with one person, then expand it to include everybody. Because when you're dealing with love, even though it's one particular person, it's not you. The person's not you. The person's something outside of you. And it's not about a society, community thing of getting something, cooperating with other people and, so on, bettering yourself because you have other people working with you. It's about completely taking your consciousness off yourself for the first time and fixing it. I can say fixating because it is, fixating on something else. That's the lower part of the fourth chakra. It takes you away from yourself. You care more about somebody else than you care about yourself. That's a very beautiful state of evolution. But as Master said, Yogananda said, It's beautiful to learn how to not be caught up in yourself, but to be able to let your frame of reference, your entire frame of reference, be involved with somebody else that you love, that you care about, that you love more than you love yourself. That's true love. Okay, you love something. That's the first time you love something more than you love yourself. And then expand that out. And what happens is as your heart opens and you feel love, it does naturally expand out to include more. So now your whole frame of reference in life is expanding outwardly. We're very lucky and very fortunate because we live in an age, you probably don't think it's fortunate, but we live in an age where our frame of reference does include Chinese people and the Russian people and the Afghanistan people and the British people, all right, and the environment of the whole earth. And it's phenomenal, right? So our frame of reference has expanded out way wider than what people used to be able to do. We can fly to outer space, or at least have astronauts do it, and then look down and see the planet Earth as a whole. That changes your frame of reference. It changes your entire being. Every step I just talked about changes who you are, who you think you are, and how you interact with things. There's this thing the astronauts talk about, I'm sure you've heard of it, called the overview effect. The ones that have gotten off the Earth, no matter how conservative they are, no matter what country they're from, no matter what's going on, when they spend enough time up there and they look at that, they don't see it as countries anymore. They see it as this amazing whole, this planet that needs to be taken care of. There's not a single astronaut that went up there that didn't come back and realize, we need to take care of this thing. It's just sitting there floating in outer space, okay? It's our home. Whose home? Our home. But the our includes all 8.3 billion people and all the animals and all the trees. Do you understand that? Because you got back far enough. Every step I'm talking about is your consciousness is expanding into a frame of reference that's away from just you. And that's the reason that working with your abstract, your intellectual mind, instead of your ego mind, working with the higher mind to where you are aware of the galaxies, you're aware of the planet, you're aware of much more than just yourself and your family and your community and your politics and your likes and your dislikes. You're now, your consciousness, your frame of reference, your self-concept. Your self-concept includes all of the rest. At some point, you've worked yourself enough that people say kiddingly, where are you from? Well, I live on such and such an address. No, where are you from? Florida. Where are you from? The planet Earth. Well, that's where you live, on the planet Earth. And if your frame of reference does that, that's just a starting point, because you don't live on the planet Earth. You live in the Milky Way galaxy. You don't live in the Milky Way galaxy. You live in the universe. And let me tell you something right now. Your entire life changes when your frame of reference changes. It's like we got a whole politics stuff going on now. I couldn't care less what your views are. Do you understand? If you're caught up in it, you should work with that stuff. You should be involved in everything in the community and everything in the world. But you have to understand that you live in a place that is so small. I was reading that today, right? I told you. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. Just think of that. Go sit in the corner and count to 1.3 million. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. The sun is one of 300 billion stars in your galaxy. If the entire Earth got hit with a meteorite and smithereens, or more like an atomic bomb, all right, and got blown into smithereens, nothing would make any difference to those 300 billion stars. Do you understand that? This is called, are you willing to come in tune with truth? And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And when they said that, they didn't even know how big the truth was. It was just bigger than you. So the Earth blew up. A couple of planets would change their orbit because of gravitational changes. And that's it. Nothing. It doesn't exist. It's never existed. 300 billion stars? How far apart are the stars? I'll give you your frame of reference. All right, so 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. There you go. The sun's big, okay? 1.3 million Earths fit inside that thing. How far away is the nearest star? How far away? We said 300 billion stars in your galaxy. How far away is the nearest star? I think it's 4.2 light years. That means nothing to us because your frame of reference doesn't include understanding this stuff. I told you before, you want to get a feeling for what your nearest star out of 300 billion. If you took a light beam and held it above the Earth and let it go for 1 second, it circumnavigated the globe 7.5 times. 1 second! Pop! 7.5 times. Go that speed every second for 4.3 years, and you get to the next star. What are you worried about? What's so important? That's how big and important the frame of reference is. Now, I know you have resistance in there to such a discussion. That doesn't mean you don't deal with things, but you deal with them with the understanding they couldn't possibly matter. That's just the next star. And there's 200 billion, and they're all that kind of distance. And that's one galaxy. One. How many are there? They're estimating 2 trillion galaxies, all with hundreds of billions of stars. How far away is your nearest galaxy? If there's 2 trillion galaxies, how far away is your nearest major galaxy? Andromeda. Okay. 2.5 million light years away. Now go that speed of 7.5 times circumference of the Earth for 2.5 million years. And you get to the next galaxy, and there's 2 trillion of them. Tell me what's important. Tell me what really matters. Are you willing to, at least in this temple, it's the temple of the universe, all right? Are you willing to let go of your stuff for at least a moment to understand reality? That's reality. And how long are you going to be here, sitting on this tiny little meaningless planet? Doesn't mean you don't love it. Doesn't mean you don't take care of it. But just understand, it's meaningless. It is. There's nothing. And how long will you be hanging out here on this tiny little piece of dirt spinning in the middle of nowhere? 70, 80, 90 years? It's been here for 4.5 billion. Let's see, what's the ratio? I'll give you 100, okay? You gotta live for 100. 100 compared to 4.5 billion. They all came and went, and you will come and go. This is how you live your life at peace. This is why it will set you free. The truth will set you free. But you are not only not willing to keep that frame of reference, you're not able to. You look at me, I'm not picking on you. And that's the whole spiritual path. Is it the truth? You have science that's proven it. It's unbelievable. We sent probes, right? How far did Voyager go? We sent a probe. That thing launched, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, right? Where is it? It just got outside what we call the solar system, where the influence of the waves of the sun outside of the solar influence, it just made it there. That's one star. You didn't get to the next star, the next galaxy. There's no way in a million years they'll ever get to anything. Please expand your frame of reference, at least for a moment, and see what it feels like to be free. Because that's what freedom means. You're free from the littleness that you are claiming is you. Which is you? This body, these thoughts of, do they like me? They don't like me. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I gained a pound and I don't know, and I want to get older. What's happening? Oh my God, I got varicose veins. Is that you? Or are you the one that has a mind that can comprehend? You can actually, it's so brilliant. You can comprehend what I just talked about. Guess what? A dolphin can't. I know they're nice guys. A possum can't. A chimpanzee can be taught to drive a car a little bit, but their mind could not make one that drives itself. Yours does. Your mind is phenomenal, and it is capable of contemplating what I just talked about, expanding your frame of reference to the limits that your mind is capable of making that your house. And then you don't have any problems. You have experiences on the planet Earth. I dropped down onto the planet Earth. I used to do this to my students, right? Let's say that you're from outer space and way far away, galaxy very far away. I don't know which one, but a galaxy far away. And your teacher takes you at distance. You can see the Earth, takes you down to the Earth. You're all there excited. And here's a planet that has life on it. We've come to visit it. And you all get to go down there. There's 10 of you. You get to go down there. Well, what will we do down there? Anything you want. Whatever you want. There's all kinds of things to do down there, aren't there? You can get into computers, you can get into relationships, you can get into rocket ships, you can get into music, you can get into art. How many things can you do down here? Oh boy, I can't wait. And so we asked each student, what do you want to do when you go down there? Right? Oh, I want to be an artist. I want to create things. I want to build buildings. Oh my God, this would be so exciting. It's like, I can do all these things. All right? And then he gets to the last person and they say, oh, I want to go down there. I just want to have a good time. I want to have fun. I want to explore. All right? Which one of you said, I want to go down there and suffer? I want to go down there and worry about every single thing that has ever happened and ever will happen and make myself miserable. I want to have ulcers and headaches and migraines and tension and anxiety. Me, I want to do that, teacher. None of you said that. But that's what you've done. Because you are that. You are the consciousness that dropped down to the planet Earth. And it's quite a planet. But no buts. Go to Mars. See how long you last there. Go to Saturn. It's just gas. It just go anywhere. There's nothing. I'm telling you, we have not found any indication with all of our telescopes, the Hubble, the James Webb, and all our probes we sent out, of any sign of life anywheres. Not a microbe, not an amoeba, not a protozoa, nothing. Do we have any signs of life here? The planet is teeming with life. The trees are everywhere, that's life. The grass is everywhere, that's life. Animals are everywhere, that's life. How many forms of life do we have? Oh my God. It's a lot of life hanging out here. But you are suffering. Compared to the overview effect, compared to waking up, what does it mean not to suffer? You ready? You wake up every single morning of your life. I'm back! What do I get to do today? I wonder what will happen today on the planet Earth. Wow! Unbelievable! And you go to bed at night and you go, like a little kid for Christmas. Wow, that was fun. Oh my God, it was so challenging. It was like playing a chess game with everybody and doing everything. It was a sport. And I got to experience this and experience that. I can't even tell you how much. That is how you were meant to visit the most beautiful planet that was ever created. It's very easy to say, oh, there must be life somewhere else. We ain't found squat. And we've looked a long way. Do you understand that? And you're on this planet. I told you, planet Earth is God's idea of Disney World. Few things to do around here. You got everything. Oh my God. Yet you suffer. Why? Because you don't hold the frame of reference which you are capable of holding. Like I said, it is not what they say, in the world but not of it. You are not of this world. You live inside. You are those aliens who gather together with the teacher saying, we're going to go down to Earth. What do you want to do? Well, how can I don't understand. I can't breathe the atmosphere. How can I go down there, teacher? You don't want to hear. It's a really weird thing that happens. You get this little body, a spacesuit, and it falls out of somebody's stomach. People, they yell at me when I say stomach, but I ain't getting into that stuff, right? But it falls out in any event. It'll plop, right? But where did it come from? It just made itself for you. Just for you. It literally, Mommy didn't do it. Can you make me an eyeball? I'll give you any amount of money and any length of time. Make me an eyeball. Make me a liver. Make me a kidney, a pancreas. It's making itself. That's phenomenal, isn't it? And what's it using to make itself? The Twinkies and Coke and things that you're eating, whatever it is, it literally could make a baby out of Twinkies and Cokes. It knows how to do it. Isn't that crazy? I don't think it'd be a real healthy baby, but net result, I'm telling you, it can do it, all right? And it just makes itself in there, and then it drops out, and then you get in, and you have this bubble, but it's so little. Don't worry. It will eat the earth. That's what you're eating, the earth. And it will make it into your body, and it will grow by itself. Don't you have to stretch it? No, it just does it by itself. Wow, I get to have one of those? That's what your body is. It's just spacesuit on the planet Earth. And so the consciousness drops into it, and it gets to have all these, I'm going to cry. It gets to have all these experiences. And all you want to talk about is what you don't like, and there's trouble, and this is terrible, I'm not happy, and I'm depressed. How do you get depressed? Your body is made up of 25 trillion living cells. There's nothing solid in there. Even the bones. 25 trillion living cells that talk to each other, interact with each other, adjust to each other, that grow, that do every single thing all by themselves. Go study what those 25 trillion cells do, interacting with each other. It's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. So there's something wrong with us. But we think there's something wrong with everything else. What's wrong with us is that we got lost. The consciousness came down here. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be just the most amazing growth experience. Earth is a place that souls, you and there, are sent to evolve. Well, how do you evolve? I don't know. When I came down here, I didn't know how to play tennis. I didn't know how to play the piano. But I got to learn. I got to practice. I got to play. And I got better. Anything you play with, you're going to get better at. Earth is a place that souls are sent to evolve. So I got to evolve into playing the piano. I got to evolve into playing tennis. I got to evolve in learning how to have relationships. I'm evolving all the time. Well, this guy's at Disney World, then why when I pick up the tennis racket, why can't I beat Borg or the Williams sisters immediately? Because that's what you're down here to learn. You're down here to learn all these things. Well, how come I have a relationship and I feel love and then I don't feel so much love anymore because somebody did something I didn't like? Because you're here to learn. You're here to grow. You're here to go through your changes. But your frame of reference has gotten way too small. You don't look at it the way I just talked to you about. You don't see it as expansive and then come down and play. Every single morning, you should wake up and know that you woke back up on the planet Earth. That's where you are. And you get to have another day. Who knows how many you'll have? Doesn't matter. But how do I know what will happen? It doesn't matter. All of them are growth experiences. If you have a relationship and it lasts 50 years, you've been married and love, and that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. What you missed out on is getting married for 2 weeks and then not get along and get divorced. You didn't get to have that experience. You had a different experience. They're all growthful. Every single experience is a growthful experience. There's a reason that you were mature enough, had grown enough, or whatever it is, to where you were able to have a long relationship like that with one person. And there's a reason why you weren't able to. And guess what? Just like learning the piano, if you're smart and you pay attention, your next relationship will be better. Usually it's not, but because you didn't bother learning, you actually got worse. Now let's talk about why you don't do this. Because you have a relationship, you're open, it's wonderful, I'm here on the planet Earth, and oh my God, it's so great, I love this person and everything like that. And then they do something, or you do something happens, or somebody else does something, and all of a sudden there's not so much love going on, and the next thing you know, you're yelling at each other and throwing pots and pans and all kinds of stuff's going on, and eventually you get divorced, and it's very, oh my God, you don't like each other, you're trying to take the money, has to split, and split the house, who gets the house, who gets the kids, oh my God. Oh, kind of fun, all right? And you go through all that stuff, and it scars you because you didn't handle it. You weren't able to handle it. It's sort of like if I go out to play tennis and I'm learning, and I get my first match, and I lose. No, I wanted to win. I practiced so hard, I never want to play again. Oh, okay. You weren't willing to learn. You weren't willing to say, oh, okay, I got to have this experience. I can get better. Now, I should maybe try harder. But you don't tend to do that. You tend to get scarred by things that don't go the way that you want. So now when you go into your next relationship, if that other person does anything that reminds you of the mess that you got out of, you never see them again. No, I don't want to date anymore. I'll never get married again. This is why your frame of reference is so small. Your consciousness is capable of expanding. Now, people talk about quieting the mind. Your intellectual mind, your abstract mind, if it expands enough, like we just talked about, the step back into pure consciousness is simple. It's when your frame of reference is tiny and you only care about your feelings, your people, your this, your views, your opinions, what you like. You're not going anywhere because you've anchored yourself on something tiny. God is expansive. The only God you're going to know is the one that you pray to get what you want. Oh, please don't make me go through this, the very thing you're supposed to go through. Please don't make me go through this. No, I don't learn this lesson. Get away from me. There's your God, the wish granter. Don't make this happen. Let that happen, etc., etc. How do I attract? I can't help myself. How do I attract to myself that which I want? I'll do mantras. I'll fast. I'll do all kinds of tapasya. That's disciplines. If I can get what I want. Oh my God, OMG. What are you doing? What I'm saying is I'm tiny, and the only way I'm okay is if everything is the way I want it to be. I didn't get any better. I didn't change. I didn't grow. I didn't expand. I made everything else come into me. So even if you had that power, the worst life you could ever have, if every single thing your ego wanted it got, you will never grow. You will never change. You will stay caught in your personal ego, what you like and what you don't like, which is all based on your past experiences, what you liked and didn't like. Now you have opinions and preferences. Go on. Get a point where all you have to do is think it and it takes place. I hope that scares the hell out of you. It's like, I can't help myself. I have to tell this. Back when I was young, there was a show, it's still out there, called The Twilight Zone. Ever heard of it? Okay. So it was kind of neat. It was good. Each show was different, all right? And it was like, weird stuff would happen. I don't know how quick I can tell this story, but there was this con artist, and he was a pool player, a pool shark, and he would con everybody. I'm no good. I don't know how to play. And then he beat the hell out of them. So he just went from town to town to the pool halls doing that kind of stuff, playing a fake kind of thing, right? Well, he died. He dies, and he finds himself in a pool hall. Okay. Interesting. And he goes and he tries to snooker somebody. I'm no good. I can't play at all. First you got to miss your first shot, so somebody will bet, right? He takes a shot, ball goes in. I got to blow this. It's not working, all right? Takes another shot. This time he does it from behind his back. Very complicated. 3-ball shot. Bam. Boop, boop, boop. Ball goes in. All right? He sits there and purposely bams the stupid things. It'll go up in the air. It bounces off the ceiling, goes down, ball goes in. It's happening every single time, no matter what he does. Every single ball goes in exactly as he calls it. And the punchline is, he walks up to the cage where the guy who's running the thing, and he says, "Excuse me, sir, is this heaven or hell?" That was hell to him. There couldn't be a worse hell. Getting what you want is the most boring, ridiculous thing that could ever be, because you will never change. In addition, if you get what you want, and you've done it in your life, there are times, I know you complain all the time, there are times you got what you want. How long did you keep wanting it? How about I guarantee you a limited period of time? It's the law of diminishing returns. What does that mean? It means the more you get something, the less you want it. You wanted it because you felt lacking. Something, I need love, I need money, I need this, I need that, I need people to respect me. Okay? You get it. Now you don't need it as much. Well, because you got it. And the next thing you know, you need something else. Or more of it. See, it's never enough. Do you understand that? So you wake up and you realize it's not going to work coming down here, becoming little, tiny. I'm me. And this is what I like. And this is what my body looks like. And this is how people treat me. And this is who my friends are. And this is who my friends aren't. And this is what I believe is going on. And this is what, everything. It's just me, 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 me. That's your frame of reference. Me. And now I'm going to go out, and to be okay, I'm going to get what me wants. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to spend my entire life working as hard as I can to get people to treat me the way I want to be treated, to get the finances that I want, to travel the way I want, to go where I want, to do what I want. That's what I'm going to do. I. All right? And that is how you'll spend your life. That's because your frame of reference is so small, it's only on you. Why? Because you are very distracting. You want to be attracting. To yourself, you're very distracting. If you're not getting what you want, what does it feel like in there? Yicky. What if you're getting what you don't want? How's he doing in there? Like razor blades. It's hard to live in there, isn't it? All right, so come to me. I told you, never come to me for therapy. People have sometimes asked me, will you talk to me on the phone? All over the world, will you do a phone call? No, I will not. Right? Why? Because you don't want to. Here's the therapy. All right? Here's Michael's therapy. Hello, how are you doing? I'm not. My husband left and the thing and my child's sick and my heart is killing me. It's just killing me. I'll let him talk a little bit, not too long, all right? And it's killing me. You don't understand. It's so painful and I'm so depressed. And the question comes like this. How do you know? Now you don't want to hear that question. That's not a reasonable, compassionate response to somebody saying, my heart is killing me. Well, how do you know? What do you mean, how do I know? How do you know your heart hurts? No, you're supposed to be help me fix the damn thing. No, I want to know how you know that your heart hurts. And eventually you're going to be very upset with me, by the way. All right? You're going to yell at me. You're going to say, because I'm in here and I experience it. And I'm going to ask you, who's in there? Who's in there? Because you who's in there is looking at a heart that hurts. You're not the hurting heart. You're the subject looking at an object inside. You're experiencing the heart hurting. Who is? That's spirituality. That's expanding your frame of reference to understand you got lost in there, didn't you? You got lost in your mind. You got lost in the emotions from your heart. You got lost in your little body. So your consciousness is distracted at all times down to this tiny little thing. My hopes, my dreams, my opinions, my likes, my dislikes, who I like, who I don't like. I, me, mine, I, me, mine, I, me, mine. The Beatles wrote a song. I didn't know that. I was a Beatles fan. It wasn't until recently I heard a song. I, me, mine. Go look it up. They must have written it when they were with Maharishi. I, me, mine all the time. I, me, mine. That's what it's like in there, isn't it? So therefore your frame of reference is locked in the cage of your personal thoughts, your personal likes, your personal dislikes, and your body and your mind and thoughts. You spend all your time that way. You don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm back. You get in the morning and say, oh my God, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I hope they didn't hear me. Oh my God, I wonder if I really said that. I hope I didn't say that. Oh my God. Should I call it? No, I shouldn't call it. But, I have to go to that meeting. What do I say? I have to go talk. I don't like to give talks. Good morning. Welcome back. Do you hear me? It's because your consciousness is distracted by all this garbage of the personal self. We call it the personal self. I've taught you over and over again. It's not hard for me to explain to you where that garbage came from. Where did it come from? You have had experiences in your life that were not comfortable to you, yes or no? Yes. Are you sure? People have done things, said things, didn't say things, didn't do things. It doesn't matter, all right? The point is, things have happened in your life out there that when they came in were not comfortable inside. What did you do with those things inside? Because I know what you did. You pushed them away. You sat there and said, not on my watch. I'm in here. I don't want to feel that. Have you ever had feelings you don't want to feel? Thoughts you don't want to think? You do what Freud said. You suppress them. You, the consciousness, you have willpower. You can push things around in there, and you do. And when you push it down, if you push down what happened in your childhood, it's not your fault, you're a child, right? But it happened. Parents got divorced, somebody things, who knows what the heck. But you pushed it away because you couldn't handle it. Where do you think it went? That's the most important thing you will ever... You think it dissipated? It won't dissipate any more than the smokestacks that are pouring all that pollution into the air. Oh, it just goes nowhere. It's okay. I mean, in the old days, they'd dump it into the river. Well, there's leftover stuff. We don't need it. Factory waste, right? It didn't just dissipate, did it? Well, when you push that away, it doesn't dissipate one single iota. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. That which came into you was energy. Outside is form. But when it comes in, it's not form. The elephant didn't get in there. The dog didn't get in there. Mommy didn't get in there. You understand that? It's just vibrations that get in there. Senses pick them up. They turn them into signals, and it comes in as energy. It comes in as waves, messages, okay? Just like a computer network comes in, and then you experience it. Well, if you don't want to experience it, you push it away. You have willpower. Don't ever let anyone tell you do not have willpower. You have willpower. Who has the willpower? In the end, you, the self, the consciousness in there, has power. And we'll talk in a minute about how much power you have. But you have enough power to push that away. Where does it go? It stores inside and it stays there your entire life until you let it go. Period. That's what Freud found out. He found out he was working with institutionalized people. I'm sure he did some healthy people, but most of what his theories and everything were people in prisons and mentally ill and et cetera, et cetera. How did they get that way? Well, mommy didn't do that, and daddy didn't. I mean, he had a big thing with mothers, didn't he? Okay, what did your mommy do? I said, blah, blah, blah. In other words, way back in your childhood, things happened that you didn't handle, and now you're out there being antisocial, doing all kinds of garbage. He called it suppression or repression. You do it every single day of your life. And not clinically suppression or repression, it's called resistance. Do you not resist things when they come in there? Anything that you don't like, that you feel, you push it away. There's no way. The way I really get it across to you. Have you ever been so in love or so open to something like a sunset or something that when you experienced it, you melted? It's just one of those moments. You just melted. And you said things like, oh my God, that was so beautiful. I felt like I was in the presence of God. It touched me to the depth of my being. I hope once in your life something touched you to the depth of your being. Do you know what that means? You didn't resist. Everything would touch you to the depth of your being. It would just come in like the rivers flowing to the ocean. It would just come in and you'll experience it. Whether it's a nice experience or not, the great ones are able to feel beauty in all of it. But at least you have even had nice experiences you let go. Normally, no. Our ego is so big. The self-concept is so big. Careful, careful. Don't go so fast. Slow down. No, I'm not ready for that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but you understand what I'm telling you. There's always resistance, yes or no. Wouldn't you sometimes that's why you do drugs. That's why people try to do tripping and all this kind of garbage. They think that they can have that experience. And if they do, great, now you get to do drugs more. I have nothing against anything. But you understand, you are capable of letting go in there and enjoying every experience that you have, letting it learn you and touch you and fill you to the depth of your being. But we don't do it. We resist to protect ourselves. Then it's stored inside, I don't know what to tell you. It's energy coming up against a wall of resistance, so it circles around itself and it stays there. It's a samskara. As the yogis called it thousands of years ago. It's a pattern that holds all of the energy that event took. If you walk into a kitchen and you smell something that reminds you of mother cooking, if you loved mother and it was so beautiful, all of a sudden you melt because you just walked into a kitchen. If you and mommy didn't get along so well, I'm never coming back here. I don't like it here. You don't even know why. That stuff stays in there. And that's why it has so much power over you. You literally stored inside of you every single thing you didn't like. Every single time you were disappointed. Every single time something happened that really scared you or hurt you. So now you have all this stuff stored in there, and your consciousness gets drawn down both into keeping it. If you don't keep it down there, it's coming back up. It does come back up, doesn't it? Comes back up in your dreams, comes back up if somebody said something, somebody dressed a certain way, reminded you of something. Next thing you know, you're so moody. That's what your moods are. That's everything. So basically, now your consciousness is locked into being distracted by the garbage you stored in there. And so now the only way it can be okay is to try and manipulate and control situations outside so when they come in, they don't hit your stuff. And maybe they hit nice stuff. Maybe there are things that remind you of something nice. But you say things like, no, don't talk to me like that. I told you, I don't like when you talk about that. I'm just not comfortable. I'm sorry. That's so beautiful. In other words, I'm caught in myself, and you said you love me, so don't touch that stuff. Why would you do that if you love me? You know that it hurts me. Right? God forbid you should have a great guru, a great master. Say that to them. Master, why would you do that to me? You know that hurts me. That's why I'm doing it. I don't want you to live with that stuff. As you let go of this stuff you stored inside, then you're not sensitive to being pulled down into it. And then all of a sudden, your consciousness is free to expand into a bigger universe. You can care about things other than your stupid little problems. And they are stupid little problems. I already told you how small they are. It's embarrassing. We're the highest species on the planet Earth. And we can't handle the rain when we don't want it to be there. Can't handle the wind. It messes my hair up. The humidity. Oh, it gets frizzy. The car in front of me. Oh, my God. Didn't even use his blinker. Nice blinker, buddy. What's going on here? They can't handle anything? Pretty much. And you realize why. The whole thing is about a frame of reference. Why is your frame of reference so small? Because that stuff you stored in there pulls you down into it because you can't handle the vibrations when they happen and you can't handle when they come back up. We call it, he hit my stuff, it hit my stuff. See, you know you have stuff. But when you say, it hit my stuff, you tell him, don't do that. The yogini doesn't. They said, oh my God, look at that. Time to go bye-bye, you stuff. I want this stuff in here. It keeps my frame of reference fixated on my stupid little self. Tiny. You understand that? I would like to be locked in a cage. Not even a prison cell. A tiny cage, like a tiger can be locked in. Oh my God, no. You are locked in the cage of your own making. You can't go anywhere unless it's exactly where you're comfortable. You can't say anything. Nobody else can say anything. You've limited yourself to yourself. Spirituality is called liberating yourself, freeing yourself from yourself. Freedom is not freedom to do what you want. It's freedom from yourself, not for yourself. Someone say, I want to be free to do whatever I want. No. I want to be free of this guy in here that's only okay if he gets what he wants, because that's pretty limited stuff in it. Okay? So we talked about a big frame of reference, didn't we? And I haven't even gotten big yet. Before I'm done, I'll talk big. So your work is to liberate your consciousness from the fixations on this tiny part of you, because it's not who you are. You're not your body. I don't understand how you can think you're your body. It used to be this big, 2 feet. Now it's this 6 feet thing. Which one's you? When you were 15 years old, were you in there? When you looked in the mirror, did you see yourself? Did you see your body? Were you in there? You don't look the same now. Let's say you're 60 years old. Which is it? Which one's you? The 15-year-old, the 60-year-old? You're not your body. It's a spacesuit that you live in, and it goes through changes, and then it falls off. You don't die. You don't die. You can't die. Your consciousness, that's like light doesn't die. That which is shining on breaks, it gets taken away, but the light doesn't. It's transcendent to that. Consciousness is transcendent to what's looking. I don't understand why that's complicated. I don't have to have a religion to understand that. Are you looking at your mind? Do you notice your thoughts? Do you notice your emotions? Do you notice you have a body? Can you look at it? All right? Who are you that's noticing these things? You're pure consciousness. It's not made of form. It can't die. It's not born. It doesn't die. It just pays attention to different frames of reference and so on. So while you're here, you have an opportunity to evolve. But no, instead what I'm trying to do is make sure I don't evolve. What I'm going to do is playing the piano to everybody else is Mozart, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, all right? But I can't do that. So I'm going to bring in tiny little kids that think that Twinkle Twinkle is phenomenal piece that I can play. And that's all that's ever going to listen to my concerts. And they're going to clap. That's what you're doing with your life. You're saying, this is what I can do and where I'm okay, so now everybody be that. And if you're not that, I'm going to suffer. That's why you're suffering. Okay, I'm interested in you expanding your frame of reference as wide as it will go, but still interacting. If I understand that I'm universal, doesn't mean that I don't do things on the planet Earth, right? They say feet on the ground, head in the clouds. I've got my awareness of being. But now when I come down to the planet Earth, which I do all the time, because it's where he hangs out, all right? I don't come down here to get things the way I want. You come down here to serve. You come down here to help. You don't need anything. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't need anything, right? If you yell at me or you're really nice to me, it makes no difference to me. How can I help? If you're really being nice to me, how can I help? If you're really mean to me or mad at me, how can I help? Not because I need it to be different, but there's a reason inside of you that you don't like me. There's a reason inside of you do like me. I couldn't care less. How can I raise what's passing before me? How can I help? Not how can I get it to be the way I need it to be because I'm not okay. All right? It's a big difference, isn't it? So that's what's taught, the deep teachings of saying it's not that because you got high, because you get very high. We're going to talk about that before we stop. You are a very great being. I don't care what you think of yourself. That's just what you think of yourself. Who is in there thinking of themselves that way? Who's in there staring at those thoughts? Who's in there carrying the burden of their emotions and of their past and so on? But you who's free, you who's in there, you're the most beautiful thing on the face of the earth. Do you understand? If you have a vision of Christ and Buddha and angels and just beautiful everything coming down to see you, You who sees that are higher than what you see. There's nothing higher than consciousness. Is the entire meaning of life is consciousness. Everything else is nothing. If nothing's conscious of it, here's the most beautiful thing in the whole world, but nobody ever saw it, and nobody ever will. Well, it's worth nothing. What's it worth? Nothing. If consciousness never experiences it, it has no value. Now add consciousness. All of a sudden it's worth billions and trillions of meaning. The most beautiful painting, but nobody sees it. Nobody knows it's there. What value does it have? Nothing. Bring one consciousness to it. Wow. God just experienced creation. That's how important consciousness is. Consciousness is a very great thing. And you are conscious, are you not? The problem is not, are you conscious? What are you conscious of? I'm depressed and not happy. That's what you're conscious of. So you work with yourself to free your consciousness. You don't work with yourself for your mind, your emotions and body, or the world. You free your consciousness from being addicted to staring at yourself. Die to be reborn. That's what Christ meant by that. You die of the personal self, and then you're reborn into spirit, into consciousness, into pure expansive being. You include everything. How do you do that? Like I said, I know I always teach it, but all it takes is a minute to get the technique across. You are going to deal with things the minute you walk out of here that bother you. Tiniest little thing. It's starting to rain. Oh my God, but we didn't have internet for 3 days. We didn't for 3 days. You have it now? Yeah, but we didn't have it for 3 days. These things that are only bothering you because you decided to be bothered by them, they're not even happening anymore. It might rain tomorrow and I want to go hiking. It might rain tomorrow and I want to go hiking. How you doing? I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm scared. I'm anxious. Who did that? You did it to yourself. Just work with those and wait to see what happens. Just work with the things that have 100% cost and zero benefit. There's no benefit to being bothered by the fact that it's raining. It doesn't stop the rain. All it does is screw you up. So start catching on. The moment in front of you is not bothering you. You are bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. How do I know? If you stop bothering yourself about it, then it's not bothering you. There's your teachings. That's your entire spiritual path. Stop it. Okay? You can use affirmation. Oh, I love this. All right. You can use letting go. You can use surrender. You can use prayer. Use anything. Just don't settle into making yourself screwed up. Because you do have a choice. You're the one who's in there. You have will. Don't naturally, these instinctual things, to fall down into that garbage. And so you learn to do what I call letting go. You learn to let go. It's your business how you do it. Do yoga, do meditation. I don't care. Just learn to not do that to yourself. And if you stop bothering yourself, you're going to stop being so bothered. You don't have to be bothered with the driver in front of you. You can't pass. They're driving 15 miles an hour below the speed limit. So what? You're sitting on a little planet scooting around with a little car. But you cause yourself anxiety about it, don't you? You actually, I'm talking to him, by the way, all right? You actually talk to the driver in front of you. Come on, buddy, this is 55 miles an hour. You're going 30. What's wrong? Guess what? They don't hear you. And it doesn't change anything except make you anxious, make you uncomfortable. Stop it. You figure it out. Learn how to work with yourself to raise yourself so you don't do that all the time. And what's going to happen? You're going to start to be happier. Why? Because you stop making yourself unhappy. Then you get bigger. Then you get bigger. And then something bigger comes up. The past is a big thing. Why should the past bother you? It's not happening anymore. You're being bothered by your childhood. You're being bothered by your ex-husband. You're not even there anymore. He died 20 years ago. You're being bothered by... Why are you being bothered by things that aren't happening? That's how therapists should talk to you. I can't handle my mother died when 40 years ago. Right? She died. Everything dies. We did a study. Really, did a very, very big study. It was a very long study. And I watched every single thing that was born. 100% correlation between that which was born and died. But I can't handle my mother died. Was she a living thing? Yes. Did she have a full life? Yes. But I can't handle it. Okay, I understand. Just died, a week ago, a month ago, whatever it is. You got to go through some stuff. But 30 years ago, she died, and still bothering you. You didn't do very well handling that, did you? Can you handle it better? Of course you can. That's how you learn. If you can't handle the rain, can't handle the humidity, if you can't handle the driver in front of you, you're not going to handle mommy's death. So you start practicing like the piano, like tennis. You practice handling things. You practice not pushing them away. Inside, you learn to let go. It doesn't mean you don't deal with things outside, but first let go of the garbage that got hit inside. Then come out and deal with the outside in order to help, not in order to help you. That's how you grow. And eventually you will grow and you will start to realize how great you are. As you liberate your consciousness, start with your mind. Liberate your mind from yourself. That's called the personal mind and the impersonal mind. Ever heard those terms? It's a very spiritual thing. The personal mind is mine addicted to you. The impersonal mind is mine not addicted to you. How big can it get? We just did pretty good, didn't we, in the beginning? All right? It got pretty big. It can go all the way out there. I read today that they found a galaxy. The core of some of these galaxies are these giant black holes. Okay? Quasars, a special thing. All right? And the black hole. The black hole in the middle of this galaxy, some hundreds of millions of light years away, right, was billions and billions of times the size of your sun, the mass of your sun. Billions of times bigger than the sun. That's at the core of one of the 2 trillion galaxies. How big is this thing? Guess what? I don't want to say it because you can't handle it. That's who you are. You are that energy. You are that black hole. You are the entire universe. Your consciousness is that, has created that, has expanded that, is experiencing that. But you let yourself get this little. That's what God realization is. That's what my Father and I are one. That's what enlightenment is. That's what Mayor Baba meant when he said, I was a drop of consciousness staring at myself. It then fell into the ocean. Find it. Find a drop of water you dropped into the ocean. You can't, can you? It merged. That's what yoga means. Merger, union. You are, oh my God. That's what the masters literally, right? There's this great master, Shirdi Sai Baba, one of the great masters. From the age of like 16 or something, he wandered into a town and he was gone. And he found a broken down little church hut thing. And he walked inside and he sat down. And if they left him alone, he would have never come out. He just, oh my God. He sat in samadhi the entire time, just like this. They have pictures of him, just like this. Completely merged with the entire universe. That's who you're standing in front of when you stand with a being of that level, of the Christ level, the Buddha level. That's not a human being. That's dropped into the hole. And they used to come and get him, and they'd have to carry him. Oh my God, so beautiful. You understand? That's you. You're the highest thing that ever walked the face of the earth. I want to understand is Christ told you that. He said, that which I am, so also are you. As I sit by the throne of my Father, it's a seat of consciousness. I sit by the throne of my Father, so you should sit by my throne. And these things which I do should do these and even greater things. I'm a nice Jewish yogi. I love the man's teachings. He taught yoga. He taught enlightenment. He taught at the Last Supper. He said, I'm going, where I go you can't follow. You are that. You're a great being. Look how little you made yourself. You are literally God, the entire universe, the quantum field of all of creation, all that energy, staring at this tiny little thing. And therefore you think you're tiny. You can't even understand when I tell you how great you are. You couldn't understand Christ or Buddha when they said how great you are. But you are. Your consciousness is phenomenal. Start to practice letting go of the little thing that you keep focusing on and watch how you expand your consciousness. Let mind expand until it handles everything, and that step into pure consciousness is nothing. Once the mind is universal and isn't caught up in the minutia of the stupid stuff, it just drops back. Ramakrishna, fully enlightened, said, the purified mind is no different than the self. The purified mind is no different than the self. In other words, if the mind doesn't have these samskaras and garbage in them, It doesn't pull the self down into it. Buddhists call the whole thing mind. They call God mind with a capital M. That's not this mind. That's the purified mind. The whole universe is mind. Okay? Do you understand how great you are? Do you understand the absurdity of taking your greatness of your being and staring at this tiny, tiny little thing? This is where I live, and this is who I am, and I want everything to stay the same, and I want everybody to treat me a certain way, and I get upset if they don't, and I can't handle things and I get depressed, and I'm so sad. Oh my God, please don't do that. Don't do that. Free yourself. Liberate yourself. Arise. Those are the teachings, aren't they? You're a great being. Jagaradev.